and good morning for some, good afternoon for others, and good evening for the rest of you. This is Phantom, and we are back with Chapter 11 of For the Ones We Love, written by Flim Brothers on FIM Fiction. If you want to check out the story yourself, link will be in the description, as well as a link to Brad's channel, who helped me out in previous chapters and future chapters. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is Chapter 11, The Storm. It is said that insanity is the willingness to kill without remorse. I do not think that is right. I think insanity is the willingness to defend what is not there to begin with. A quote from Spiked Punch. "Spike, this room is gorgeous!" Baird exclaimed as they entered the room from the balcony. She went running all around it, admiring every detail as Spike sat on the bed, waiting for her to finish her little tour of the room. "The tiles match the chandelier so well, and the color choice for these curtains are just magnificent." Spike smiled. "Yeah, I guess it is nice. I don't really notice, though. I'm usually too tired to care what the room looks like." Brady looked at him with a pouty face. "A shame, really. Such wonders to go unnoticed." "But I was tired." "I hope you're not too tired," she thought. She ran over to the bed and hopped on top of Spike. "Spike, just out of curiosity, how tired are you right now?" Not very. Why?" "Because I was hoping we could have some fun before Pinkie Pie's party." Spike laid in bed, confused by Rarity's comment. "What do you mean?" "I'll show you." She gave Spike a kiss, biting into his thick scaly lip as she parted. She slowly made her way down Spike's body, giving quick little nips and kisses as she descended. "So that's what you meant." 5 asterisks and a scene break. "Hurry up, Bunsen," called a large red guard unicorn. There had been a batch of new recruits, and since they had little time for basic training, they had every recruit to be paired with an experienced guard. "Sorry, Heartshield," a female voice called. A nerdy-looking purple Pegasus galloped clumsily in her armor, having to stop every few feet to readjust her helmet or push back her glasses. "But they didn't have any armor in my size." Heartshield rolled his eyes. "Of all the ponies in Equestria, why did I have to get paired up with this?" "Hey, I heard that, and I don't want to be here any more than you do." "I find that hard to believe." He looked down the hallway. "Well, at least it'll be an easy day. We're on patrol. All we have to do is walk up and down the hallways and make sure everything is okay." He looked over to Bunsen, who was fiddling with her square glasses. "Do you think you can handle that?" She frowned and stuck out her tongue at him. "Easy. It's just walking after. Wah!" Bunsen had only taken 2 steps before tripping over the boot of her armor, landing face first on the ground. She flailed her legs and wings, trying to get back up on her hooves, but found no such luck. She looked up and smiled nervously. "A little help?" Hart let out a depressive sigh as he levitated the Pegasus back to her hooves. "This is going to be a long day." "Stop complaining, Bunsen. It wasn't that bad." The mayor looked at him strangely. "I'm not complaining." Oh, sweet Celestia." "Did you hear that?" She shook her head and they took off, Bunsen falling over again almost immediately. Heartshield levitated her back up and carried her in his red aura. He galloped down the hall, searching for the cause of the noise. "That way." He pointed down an adjacent hall. The two, meaning Heartshield, rushed down the hall and stopped at a large brown door where the noise seemed to be coming from. Oh God. Oh. It sounds like somebody's being tortured." Hart dropped the purple mare back on the ground. "Be quiet, rookie." He slowly turned the doorknob. "I'm going to take a peek inside." He cracked the door a little and took a small peek. "Oh, goddess! Oh, God!" His eyes widened as his jaw dropped. Hart quickly closed the door. They didn't seem to notice him. He looked to his purple companion. "We need to leave now." "Oh, yeah." "But there's some pony being hurt in there. And according to the RG Handbook, Section 3, Subsection 7, a Royal Guard is obligated to help any pony that is in distress." "You actually read the handbook?" She closed her eyes and smiled. "Of course, doesn't every pony?" No. What did you do before you joined the forces?
I attended the Academy of Science.
Well, that explains a lot. But anyways, there's no point in trouble in there.
Then what's going on in there?
Well, he tried to find a way to put it gently to her.
Oh, Spike, spank me harder. I've been a bad little mare, haven't I?
Yeah. Blood rushed to Bunsen's face.
Oh, those were sexy sounds.
She looked to the red stallion in front of her.
Let's leave.
Agreed, nodded Heartshield as the two walked away. Bunsen immediately tripped over again. Can you go 2 feet without falling over? 5 asterisks and a scene break. Spike and Rarity stared at the ceiling, both drenched in sweat and panting heavily after their bit of fun. Rarity made all his dreams come true, and more. The things she was able to do, the things she let him do, it was all better than he could possibly imagine. So that's what pony tastes like. His white lover rolled over and cuddled up under his arm. The dragon was pretty good as well. So are you still mad at me? He glanced at the mare to his side. I don't think I'll ever be mad again. She dragged a hoof across Spike's chest. They both lay there inside. So did you have fun? Rarity frowned. Spike, that's a very inappropriate question to ask a lady. Spike flinched. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Spike's mouth was cut off by Rarity's hoof. Her frown quickly melted into a smile. Relax, darling, I was just kidding. She climbed on top of him and gave him a quick little peck on his snout. It was the most fun I've had in ages. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Although I had no idea you could be so rough. I think you managed to bite through my scales. Oh dear. Rarity blushed. Well, consider it payback for my aching red flank. If I remember correctly, you were practically begging for me to spank you harder. I remember no such thing. No, I remember you saying, and I quote, Oh, Spike, spank me harder. I've been a bad little mare, haven't I? And I deserve to be punished. Rarity smiled as she flicked him on top of his nose. You're such an ass. But I'm your ass, right? The dragon smiled. Rarity responded with a kiss. Always.
Spike!
The doors of the room were busted open as the two embraced lovers turned to look in shock. There stood Luna, with thick, watery tears rolling down her face as she looked at the two in bed.
Spike, how could you?
Oh, crap. Luna, what are you doing here?
I came to see you, Spike, but I never thought you would be so shallow as to cheat on me.
What? The mayor looked towards Spike. Spike, is this true? The drake shook his head. Of course not. He turned to Luna. Why are you doing this?
To save this young mare from your cheating ways. I never should have believed you when you said that you would be faithful to me forever.
Spike, why would you do this? I didn't do anything. We never did anything. We kissed, but she always forced. You kissed another mare? She couldn't believe it. The only one that she ever loved was just like any other colt she had ever dated. Shallow-minded, with only one dirty thought in her head. Rarity, please. I can explain. Explain what? Angry tears were pouring down her face. That you just used me? That you are like any other colt or stallion that I've ever dated? She shuffled out of bed and ran out of the room. I was right. You are an ass. Rarity! He tried getting out of bed to pursue her. However, the second that Rarity had left the room, Luna had pounced on top of the dragon, looking sexily down on him.
So now that she's gone, we can finally have our fun.
She gave the disgruntled Drake a quick kiss on the nose.
I hope she at least warmed you up for the main event.
Why did you do that? He was trying to force himself up underneath the princess.
Well, I needed her to go away, and we're not going to have a three-way when I haven't been able to sleep with you yet.
But you lied to her! You told her I cheated on you when we haven't even done anything!
Well, we hope that'll change now.
Her horns started to glow. Soon a band of glowing aura wrapped around Spike's wrist and mouth, restraining him to the bed with muffled protest. Spike glared at the Dark Princess, who in return laughed at the Drake's submissive state.
Listen, Spike. I have been very patient with you, ignoring the fact that you fled from my room so many times that every time we're together something happens to prevent what's inevitable. I even gave you space when you almost died a few days ago. But I'm done waiting. I want you inside me, Spike.
I'm not beating on Brony.
You won't cheat on Rarity? But she already left you, and she seemed really upset.
Because you lied to her.
I guess I did lie to her. But I'll tell you what, Spike. I'll give you a deal. Have sex with me right now, and when we're done, I'll tell Rarity the truth. She'll forgive you, and I'll finally get to be with the one I love. Every pony wins. So what do you say, Spike?
She slowly undid the gag around the dragon's mouth. I'm not cheating on Rarity. It doesn't matter how you try to twist it around. Cheating is cheating, and I'll have no part of it. Now really... The gag around his mouth reappeared. Luna rolled her eyes.
Have it your way. And by that, I mean my way.
She sat down on Spike's chest and slowly slid herself closer to his face.
This is going to be fun.
Get off of him! Luna looked around in surprise to see Rarity standing at the door of the room, a scowl on her face, staring daggers at the mare on top of her dragon. Luna let out a little smirk.
Is that a threat?
I said, get off of him! Her horn started to glow with blue magic.
Ooh, what are you going to do? Make me a dress?
A large blast of light blue energy collided with Luna's face as she was blasted through the wall of the room and into the courtyard. Spike looked at Rarity with absolute amazement. The tip of her horn was sizzling with a small trail of gray smoke, and she was breathing heavily, sweating heavily with exhaustion. No pony bucks my dragon but me. She slowly walked towards the bed. Are you okay, Spike? Get this thing off me! Oh, right. Sorry. She focused her magic to counteract the seal over Spike's mouth. Is that better? Much better. You came back. Why? Rarity smiled. Well, I was coming back to yell at you some more, as I was still very upset. But when I got back, I overheard your conversation, and how Luna had lied to me, and how you managed to stay loyal despite these advances. And when you still refused to sleep with her, even if it would give you a false way out, you still refused to cheat on me. I knew right then how much you truly loved me, and I wasn't going to let any pony sleep with my dragon, not even a princess. Spike grinned playfully at his savior. Well, my hero. He batted his eyelashes. Rarity couldn't help but let out a little smirk. Does this hero get a reward for her efforts? That she does. He puckered up his lips as the white mare slowly closed the gap between them.
Oh, you two are kissing. That's so sweet.
The two looked up towards the hole in the wall. Luna's head popped into view. Her starry hair was fringed and soaked from the rain outside, and she did not look happy.
But you're kissing my love!
A blue band of magic wrapped itself around Rarity's neck, lifting her into the air and slamming her into a nearby wall. Rarity! He tried to escape from his arcane bondages, but to no avail. Leave her alone!
I'm sorry, my dear. It's just that love can make you do crazy things.
She levitated the helpless Rarity closer to her.
Tell me, is she really worth all this trouble, all this destruction?
She is everything to me! He was still trying to escape his bondages.
And what does that make me?
Rarity twitched around, gasping for air. It makes you the mare that has gone out of her bloody mind.
I'm sorry, Rarity, but you're not part of this conversation.
She forced her out the closed window, the glass shattering against her body. No! He attempted to lurch forward, but was still constricted by the mystic cuffs. Spike. Rarity's limp body was still being levitated by Luna's magic. Her body was covered with bloody cuts from the impact with the glass. She looked up towards Spike, her eyes barely conscious.
Now that we're alone, my love,
She smirked at the dragon.
we'll see who you truly love.
Let her go!
Poor choice of words.
She released the magic around Rarity's neck. The white mare shrieked as she fell towards her doom. Stop! The shadowy mare winced at the sound of his voice, quickly catching Rarity with her magical grasp.
Let me do it, darling. Let me just drop her and we can be together at last. No more little Miss Pretty Bitch to get in our way. It would be a quick, if moderately painful death, and then we could be together forever, just like I've always dreamed of since I was a filly.
Don't you dare drop her, Luna!
Or what? Even if you can break free from my magic, you still wouldn't be able to reach her before she fell.
Then I die trying!
And why would you do that?
Because I love her!
But I love you! I have always loved you! You're all I can ever think about! I raise the moon every night, just hoping that you're able to see it.
A strained tear dripped from her eye.
Why can't you see that?
Listen, Luna. I had no idea that you had these feelings for me, and I know that it's hard to take rejection, but in the end, it's for the best. If it means anything to you, Luna, I'm sorry, but you need to bring Rarity back inside, and we could deal with this without violence. He looked to the princess with a calm expression. What do you think? Will you let her go? Luna looked down, stirring in her thoughts, before looking up and saying,
Sure, I'll let her go.
She released Rarity and let her plummet to her demise.
Spike!
She fell through the air and towards the ever-approaching ground. Rarity! He pulled at his cuffs, praying that they would break, but they just wouldn't. They stayed firmly clasped to his wrists and tail. He had to do something. He had to go save Rarity. He had to save the one he loved. There was a flash of light, followed by a faint white afterglow. Spike looked down to his chest to see that the strange necklace that had protected him in the Shadowlands had appeared around his neck. Suddenly he felt stronger, infused with some sort of untapped power within him. The bonds around his ankles and wrists felt as strong as paper, tearing through them and pushing aside a shocked Luna to dive out the window to save his beloved. Rarity was about halfway down the tower, screaming as she flailed through the air. The dragon picked up speed, inching slower towards the falling mare, but the ground closer. She was 50 feet from the ground. Spike flapped his wings furiously, trying to catch up. 40 feet. He had to make it. 30 feet. He was going to make it. 20 feet. The necklace started to glow again. 10 feet. The world seemed to slow down around him. He stretched out his claw to catch Rarity. 5 feet. Just a little further. Less than a foot to the ground. He grabbed her hoof. He pulled her into his arms, covering her head as they crashed into the ground in an explosion of dust and dirt. Luna looked down at them from the window, curiously looking at the smoke cloud that had formed on their impact. She was shocked when the flying dragon bust through the cloud, his white mare held safely in his arms. Both of Spike's eyes were glowing white as he magically floated up in a sphere that had formed around him and Rarity. He looked down at the unicorn. Are you okay? She looked up and wrapped her hooves around his neck, doing her best to hold back her tears.
My hero.
Spike smiled as they approached the ledge of the broken window and floated back inside. Luna was still shocked to see that they were both alive.
But that fall should have killed you.
It's over, Luna. He placed down Rarity and nudged her behind him. Just stop, please.
You ask me to stop loving you?
Luna! He glared at the princess with his glowing white eyes. I don't love you.
But I love you, Curator!
Curator? The dark mare glared furiously at the dragon.
And if I can't love you, then no one can!
She blasted a bolt of lightning at Spike. Spike flinched as the bolt connected with his face, but when he opened them again, the lightning was harmlessly absorbed into his skin through a small white circle.
What? No one can just shrug off my magic like that. It's impossible!
Spike grabbed her by the horn, squeezing it until the magic was cut off. He looked into her eyes. This ends now! He reared back his free hand and slapped her across the face. Luna fell down to the ground. Her cheek was red where Spike had hit her. She was sniffling like a little filly, wiping her nose and face.
It wasn't you. It was never you, Curator.
She looked up to Spike and Rarity. The bedazzlement on her face was clear.
I'm so sorry for everything. I wasn't in my proper mind.
Spike crossed his arms and stared at the whimpering princess. You have a lot of explaining to do. And that was Chapter 11, The Storm, For the Ones We Love, written by Flim Brothers on FIM Fiction. Oh, Christmas Christ. The beginning of that chapter, though. Oh my god. If you want to check out the story, like always, link will be in description, as well as a link to Brad's channel, who helped me out on previous chapters and future chapters. Remember to show that support by liking the video, leaving a comment, and subscribing, and, spread me around like butter all over your friends and family. In any case, thank you all for listening. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Base leader. This is the last one I have to do. This is the last one. This is the last one. Gotta make it good. I'm not going to make it good for my audience. Are you fucking insane?